Break tonight to tell you about in the death of a North Texas teen. It was supposed to be a fun day of fishing for 3 young men at Lake Ray Hubbard. Instead, it turned deadly after the group jumped in to swim, and 18-year-old Daniel Irving never resurfaced. Now, months later, police have arrested a 19-year-old they say tried to cover up and hide what actually happened that day. Fox 4's Alex Boyer picks up our top story from there.
According to Dallas police, text messages prove that the victim and suspect knew each other and had made plans to meet up and go to a lake back in April. Now, the victim, Daniel Irving, never came home. His mom reported him missing. It wasn't until nearly 3 months after his body was recovered that police have made an arrest in connection to the case.
19-year-old Lucas Roper is accused of tampering with evidence in connection to the drowning death of 18-year-old Daniel Irving in Lake Ray Hubbard back in April. Irving's body was discovered on April 17th, 4 days after he is believed to have drowned. Irving had reportedly gone to the lake with Roper and a juvenile suspect to swim and go fishing. Days after his body was recovered, Irving's family held this news conference demanding answers.
What do we want? Justice. Amen. For Daniel Irving. Amen. When do we want it? Now.
Irving's family said then that they wanted a full and transparent investigation. On July 9th, Roper was arrested by Dallas police on 1 count of tampering with physical evidence. According to an arrest warrant affidavit, Roper was interviewed by detectives after Irving's body was found. Roper told police after the 3 of them had jumped into the lake from the railroad track bridge, Irving drowned and Roper panicked. Instead of calling 911, the affidavit states Roper told investigators he deleted all communication with Daniel Irving from his cell phone, adding that Roper confirmed he was aware that there would be an investigation into Daniel Irving's death and he did not want to get into trouble, and states Roper threw Daniel Irving's clothes in the tree line as they fled the location. The juvenile suspect also told investigators he admitted he threw Daniel Irving's cell phone from the vehicle after suspect Roper told him to.
We, the family, are deeply inclined these individuals intended on no one looking for Daniel. Fighting for Daniel, advocating for Daniel.
Irving's siblings said his young life was full of promise.
He had just begun his recruitment to the U.S. Army. He was trained with discipline. He carried himself with a purpose. He believed in building a life of service.
This has been tough on our family. Daniel was our protector, and I have nothing but good things to say about him. He was a good kid, and he just didn't deserve that.
Roper was booked into the Dallas County Jail. I can tell you that his bond has been set at $10,000. Now, we don't know the status of the juvenile suspect. Because he is a minor, Dallas police are not releasing any additional information. Reporting at Dallas Police Headquarters, Alex Boyer.
Hey family, it's Netta back at you with Black Lives Count, and I hope you are blessed and doing well. For all of my subscribers, I thank you so much for supporting this channel. We need you, we love you, and we are so appreciative of you. For those of you that come and watch the videos and check it out, that's fine. We would love to have you as subscribers. So just subscribe. Click that subscribe button and like and share whatever videos that you really are vibing with. So we're here for a serious conversation, family, as this situation with these unalivings of these young black people are getting more and more and more and more. And we really have to teach our people, our family, how to be careful and how to watch out. You even got white people getting online talking about how, not to trust those people and how they're not trustworthy and how you shouldn't be hanging with them if you are the only person or black person. It's time for us to ensure that our kids understand, what they need to do and what they need to be safe. Okay, so this, as you saw the video, the news footage about Daniel Irving, and this young man went out on a boat similar to what happened with Nolan Wells, and with what he thought was his friends, and he went fishing with them and hanging out, and they arrived back home and he did not. And so as you see, they've been arrested, or the one young man so far has been arrested for his unaliving, and the only thing that they're charging him with, as you can see, is the low charges. The low charge that he received is nothing in comparison to probably what happened to that young man. See, we have to stop telling our young people that if they are, you can be friends with everybody. I'm not saying that you are specifically hating anybody, any group. But what I am saying is that you should be specifically aware of what groups have done what in this country, in America. We should make our children understand that and aware of it, because a lot of times our children are not taught anything about these people that we live in this country with, and they should be. Just like they make it, you have to take reading and math, you should have to learn about the history in this country. And if they won't teach it to them, which they're not, you can't trust them to teach your children anything that has transpired in America, then we should absolutely be willing, and we should be readily, with information and everything to teach them what they need to know. So aside from that case, I wanted to talk the similar situation almost with the James Byrd. And of course, if many of you don't remember or don't recall or are not young enough to or are too young to remember, James Byrd was known in Jasper, Texas as a talented singer and trumpet player. But on June 7th, 1998, he made national headlines for a different reason. After accepting a ride from Sean Barry Lawrence Brewer and John King, Byrd was chained to the back of their truck and dragged for over 3 miles along a rural road. He was alive for much of that ordeal. They drugged this man on the back of a truck, from the back of a truck, chained to their truck, and he was alive for all of that ordeal, for most of it. During this incident, he became dismembered, let me say that. His head and some of his limbs. Then they dumped what was left in a cemetery and drove on to a party. They were later arrested after his remains were discovered because Brewer and King were known white supremacists. Now, it goes on to say that Brewer and King were ultimately executed for the crime, but Barry was sentenced to life in prison. In 2009, President Obama created and signed into law the Matthew Shepard James Byrd law. Okay, let me say this. Matthew Shepard was a young white man that was unalive because he was of his sexual preference, okay? Not to take anything away from Matthew Shepard. But why, and look, I really thought Obama was something. I really did. When, because I met him, you know, before he became the senator of Illinois. I met him then. He came to our church. I really did. But why? That's a whole separate case. Black people have been unalive because they are black people in America. And I'm not getting down on Obama. I'm just saying that as a black president, you should have distinguished before anything else that this black man was murdered because he was black. Mr. Shepard could change his sexuality. Mr. Byrd could not. It is an ongoing issue that young black people and older black people are being unalived in America because of their race, because they are black. And this has been going on for hundreds of years. Even after we have begged as a people, black people have begged for a hate crime bill, an anti-black hate crime bill, but we've not received it. And yet these kinds of things continue to happen. And whenever they happen, law enforcement shows up and says there was no foul play. They even tried it with Mr. Byrd. But fortunately, you know, people knew of those two or those three who had unalived him. And they probably bragged about it, I'm sure, because they thought it was okay. This has been going on in America, and yet Democrats come and want us to vote for them with no policies for Black America. Nothing. And you asking for a policy for Black America is like taboo. It's like you shouldn't do that. Okay? Is what they act like. Like we shouldn't ask for anything. Just vote. Blue, no matter who. It's time for us to understand that, I mean, I don't care what. You know, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't vote for a damn Democrat or Republican. Of course not a Republican. If they're not offering any kind of tangible protection for Black America. And I know the Republicans are not going to offer shit. So I would not vote for them anyway. But I will not vote for a Democrat that is not offering protections for Black people. We, according to the FBI crime statistics, are the #1 benefactor of hate crimes. So it would only make sense to give Black Americans a hate crime bill. But they won't, because if they gave us a hate crime bill, many more of white people would be going to jail. Because when you see all these recordings of white people inhibiting Black people from leaving, prohibiting Black people from going out the door or coming in the door or shopping or anything, sitting on the beach, sitting at the pool, talking on their phone, anything. Where you see all of this, you would see white people having to be arrested. So this is why they don't want to give us a hate crime bill. And this is why you have to record and protect yourself. Record and protect yourself by any means necessary. Protect yourselves. I say that most definitely. Brother Malcolm X said by any means necessary, and that is the truth. By any means necessary, we should protect ourselves. And all legally, just like they do. But we can no longer allow these people to play in our faces. Black people are being unalived at mass numbers. Mass numbers. And nothing is being done about it. And just as I did the video about the young woman who protected herself in Florida in the Walmart parking lot, and she had to take out the white man, I mean, if she had stood there, if she hadn't had that weapon, now she's on the phone with 911. If she had stood still to let that man get up on her, he would have tried to attack her. Not tried, he would have attacked her physically. Because that's what they do. They attack soft targets, women and children, because they're not real men. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I see black people online disagreeing about not voting or voting for politicians who will not do anything for you. There should be no disagreement at all. We should all come together and have a discussion, just like we did with the No Kings March. That's what they thought. They thought we had a conversation or a meeting. But we should all come to an understanding of the minds. We shouldn't vote for anybody who's not giving us any policies. Too many of our men, women, and children are being unalived by savage beasts. And protecting yourself is your constitutional right, just like it's theirs. If they can protect themselves, you can protect yours, but do it in a smart way. I was so proud of that young lady. She tried to get away from him. She tried to de-escalate. She tried. And I'm glad that somebody was filming that so that it was captured. So she didn't just stand her ground like they do and just shoot somebody down. She tried to de-escalate. She walked around several different cars. Family, we have to teach our family members, our children, our young people. Those people don't know what friends are. They really don't. And we have to stop putting ourselves in danger. Peace, love, and family. Peace, love, and blessings to you, family. And Black Power. Thanks so much. All right, take care. Bye-bye.